Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we have got the Champions Cup final round of the pool stage, round 4. Last chance saloon for many teams. Some interesting encounters. Yeah, let's get right into it. Starting off with the only game on Friday night, or tonight, is Ulster versus Exeter. And this is a big game for both teams as they've lost their first 3 games each. There is a slim chance if the winner can get a bonus point win, depending on is it the Bordeaux Sharks? I believe it's Bordeaux Sharks are playing. Result, yep. There is a slim chance that the winner could qualify for the round of 16. However, it's highly more likely that the winner will get Challenge Cup more. So, yeah, I think both teams probably would benefit from not being in Europe with how much they've been struggling. I mean, both for different reasons, but both teams are struggling massively and should probably focus on the league if they want to get anything done. However, one team will go into the Challenge Cup. Yeah, I do probably think Ulster will win this game over more the fact that it is at the Kingspan, which suggests to me that Ulster just seems slightly better at home. Exeter have been really dreadful, but it could go either way. I'm guessing Ulster to win. Next up, we've got the Vodacom Bulls at home to Stade Francais. Now, Stade Francais are sitting... It's 5th versus 6th in the pool. Bulls are the only team in the tournament that don't still mathematically have a chance to qualify. So no matter what happens in this game, the best case scenario, and I think it is quite a slim case it happens, is the Bulls get Challenge Cup. For that, they'd probably need to put, we're talking 30-40 points winning margin on Stade Francais to catch them. So it is highly unlikely, but I wouldn't put it out the realms of possibility. I mean, it's not impossible, nothing's impossible. But apart from Scotland winning the Six Nations, but that's not the point. I'm not here to talk about that. It's not impossible. Stade Francais need a win and other results to go their way. If Castres was to lose their game, then you'd look. I believe Castres are, I want to say, away to Saracens. I could be wrong though. I'll cover that in a bit. But yeah, Stade Francais need a win to keep themselves in, and Bulls just need a win to kind of stop embarrassing themselves. And yes, Castres is away to Saracens, so if Stade Francais can pick up a win, they might be looking comfortable to maybe nick 4th. Next up, we've got Northampton versus Munster. Now, Northampton have already qualified for the round of 16. So they are more kind of playing to secure top spot, and to be honest with you, this is a big game for top spot as Munster are second, just 1 point behind them. So this is a massive battle between the two. If Munster get anything, even a losing bonus point, whatever, out of this game, they will guarantee qualification no matter what happens in any of the other games. But I think it is unlikely that they go out because they'd rely on Stade Francais getting a bonus point win, Saracens or Castres to win, and the other team to pick up losing bonus points. So I think it is unlikely, but it's not impossible. But yeah, there's nothing separating Northampton and Munster. I will say Northampton to win, off the fact that it is in England. But I think that Munster proved last week that they can grind out results. You look at that Saracens result and it was a big result for them. So yeah. Next up, we've got Claremont at home to Bristol Bears. Again, this is the two bottom sides. There is an opportunity for both of these teams really to get something done and qualify as they're playing each other, whereas the two teams above them, Bath and Benetton, who are both a couple of points ahead, both play Leinster and La Rochelle, who are top of the pool. So yeah, So yeah, this is a big game for both teams. You'd like to think that a win would see them through, unless both Benetton and Bath cause upsets. But I just can't see that. Maybe one of them will, but I can't see that really. So yeah, this game is going to be close. I do believe both teams have been fairly inconsistent, but in the leagues. With it being in France, though, I have to side with Clermont. Again, I've had my reasonings before, and I will keep saying it. The French teams in France are unbelievable. They're like the South African teams in a way. You know, they're really good at home, but if they leave France, then they can struggle. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Benetton at home to La Rochelle. And as just mentioned in the Clermont-Bristol game, Benetton need a result to go through. Definitely if Benetton weren't to get a result against La Rochelle, the winner of the Clermont-Bristol would jump them. Now, Benetton could still be alright if they can do better than Bath, who I will talk about in a minute. But yeah, it is in Italy. However, I just struggle to see Benetton winning there. I know they stunned Bath in Italy in round 2, but I think La Rochelle are just slightly better than Bath at the minute. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see though. Next up, speaking of Bath, it's their game. All three all three pool 2 games in a row. Bath are away to Leinster, which is a really tough place to go. It's hard to see them getting anything, to be honest. I mean, again, similar to Benetton, if they weren't to win, they probably would slip their place to the winner of the Clermont-Bristol. However, with bonus points or however you have it, they have the advantage on Benetton to try and jump them. Bath have a significantly better points difference. I mean, we're talking about a 50-ish points difference. Better Bath have, so you know they just really need to match Benetton's result, and they should be okay going through. Next up, we've got Glasgow away to Harlequins. Now, Glasgow have already qualified for the round of 16. They are looking for a big result to try and chase Toulon down for top of the pool, which would give them, I think, a really good chance to go deep in the tournament. Quins have had a bit of a weird tournament so far. They're sat third in their pool at the minute, winning 1, losing 2. So Quins really need a result to not drop down. I mean, you've got Quins, Stormers, Sale and Racing all within 1 point of each other. And I believe Stormers and Racing are playing each other. So you've got to think that's one of the two of them going to pick up a win. And Sale, I mean, they are away to Toulon. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Quins are really going to want a result out of this Glasgow game. However, Glasgow have just looked incredibly impressive. They've averaged 5 tries a game. I mean, Quins are averaging 4, so we could actually see quite a high scoring game here. But yeah, I have to side with Glasgow. Just they're incredible at the minute. They really are. I'm not saying Quins can't win it, but I have to predict Glasgow to win that one. Next up, speaking of Racing playing Stormers, here we go. It is in France. As I said, the winner of this game will more than likely qualify for the round of 16, just off how close it is. I mean, to be honest with you, this could be hard to predict. Both teams have had mixed tournaments. I mean, both teams lost 2-1-1. Stormers struggled in the first 2 rounds, but ran out of, a really comfortable win against Sale last week. Racing struggled against Glasgow, did pull it back, but I think that was more that Glasgow kind of turned off a little bit more. However, this is in France. and I'd have to side with Racing again. My usual thing. I mean, South Africans in Europe are bad enough. Never mind France with French teams at home. Just I think Racing's going to take that. Moving on to Sunday, we have got Bordeaux at home to Sharks. Sharks. All Sharks need is a bonus point. Losing, try. That's all they need out of this. I can't see them winning. Bordeaux have been incredible. They're scoring tries for fun. I mean, they're averaging almost 8 tries a game, which is incredible for Bordeaux. And at home in France, it's going to be hard to see them not keeping up that streak of scoring for fun. But as I said, Sharks are in 4th, 5 points ahead of both Ulster and Exeter, who play each other. So if they can get a try bonus point, if they lose 60 odd, 20 odd, but get a try bonus point, they are fine. They are through. So if I was Sharks, I'd be looking more at that, as I just cannot see a way for Sharks to win that game, unfortunately. Next up, we have got Saracens at home to Cast. Saracens obviously had that game against Munster last week, which was a game that could have gone either way. Looking at the pool, they are both sat 3rd and 4th. Yeah, I mean, both teams probably are fine. I mean, you'd like to think Bulls will get the win in South Africa against Stade Francais. Which, Bulls are on 0 points, Casts on 9, Saris are on 10, so I reckon both teams are fine qualification wise. Where this does come important is whoever wins this game will more than likely jump Munster or Northampton, the loser of that game, and the other one. So this is really the fight for second, which is a home round of 16 games. So that is huge. In England, in London, you have to side with Saracens. Cast have been decent, but I think it would take a bit more than a decent performance for them to go to the Stone X and win. However, stranger things have happened. Next up, we've got Toulouse versus Leicester, and this is a bit of a weird game as both teams have qualified. Neither team realistically need anything to go through to the round of 16. Sitting 2nd and 3rd in the table, so really this, I mean, I say that, but this is really for the home round of 16 game. As, I mean, technically top spots on offer, but I can't see Bordeaux slipping to Sharks. So this is, there's Leicester on 11 points, Toulouse on 14, both teams want that home game. It's going to be a lot easier for them. Also means they avoid a bigger team in the knockouts. It is in France, which I think is kind of the massive one. Toulouse at home are a different animal, and I think very few teams could go there and win, and I don't think Leicester are of the quality at the minute to be one of them. So Toulouse it is. And then last but definitely not least, we've got Sale Sharks versus Toulon. Now Toulon sit top of the table. They have already qualified. Toulon are top of the table. Sale Sharks are in 5th. So Sale Sharks really need something out of this game if they want to do something. However, in France, I can't see it. Sale are heavily inconsistent, and I know they have, being inconsistent, there's 2 ways of that. They could be incredible. They could be complete and utter donkey twaddle. But I do struggle to see Sale getting a result out of Toulon. I mean, yeah. What will be interesting though is that Toulon have struggled to get bonus points, and Glasgow are hot on their tail. I know Toulon beat Glasgow, but Glasgow only a point behind them. You've got to think, if Toulon don't get a bonus point win, it opens up a gap for Glasgow. If they can slip another big win against Quins to slip Glasgow in to potentially get a top the pool, which would be massive, I think. But I do think Toulon will be comfortable in a win against Sale. And I think Sale are really in danger of not even drop into the challenge, if I'm going to be honest. Stormers are miles ahead of them on points difference. Racing are 1 point behind them, so if they even got a losing bonus point, I mean, their points difference is also still over about 15, 16 better. So, yeah, I do think Toulon are going to take that. But, yeah, that is us. That is all the games. That is my predictions for the matches. So just to give you a quick rundown for the final round, I've got Ulster to beat Exeter, Bulls to beat Stade Francais, Northampton to beat Munster, Clermont to beat Bristol, La Rochelle to beat Benetton, Leinster to beat Bath, Glasgow to beat Quins, Racing to beat Stormers, Bordeaux to beat Sharks, Saracens to beat Cast, Toulouse to beat Leicester, and Toulon to beat Sale. And I apologise about that, Toulon Sale is actually in England, which does give Sale a slightly better chance, but I still think Toulon are just going to be slightly too good for them. I think it might be a tight game though, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I know this is a bit of a longer one. The Challenge Cup one will be out soon, and I shall see you absolute legends when we find out who's in the round of 16.